Coach, knowing you long enough, whether a team's in the middle of a 7-game winning streak or losing streak, you always feel that there's things that your group can improve upon. To have a practice day followed by a shoot-around, how much of a luxury does that seem, and what were you guys able to work on the last couple of days?
We got to detail our work. I think that's what we talked about with this group, being able to detail the work, the little things, getting back to what we're able to do defensively, finishing possessions. We're coming up on a team in the next couple games where it's a lot of isolation situations, but also heavy pick and roll. So able to work our defensive side of the ball, and then finding out how teams are playing us offensively, being able to move and share the ball and distribute it amongst the team the right way.
We saw Jonathan listed as questionable. How's he doing, and will you guys have him tonight, or will you evaluate him as the day goes?
We're going to evaluate him as the day goes, just make it more of a game time decision.
Jalen just said the vibrations among this team are high. Would you agree?
Being around these guys for as long as we've been around them, they have a great vibe no matter what's going on, and that's the beauty of this team. How much they encourage each other, support each other, hold each other accountable. Obviously, with the streak going on, I think guys are very in tune with one another, and they're able to communicate and hold each other accountable, even at a higher level.
Does your message change to them change at all because you're on this streak? Not to get too high, not to get too low, or anything like that?
Well, that's the beauty of the NBA. The schedule will set you up for being humbled at times, and so that you can't get too high, you can't get too low. You can only control the things that you're able to control, and that's your effort every single night. How you defend, are you willing to share the basketball, are you playing the right way with that sense of joy and enthusiasm? Everything else is going to be out of your control from there, whether the ball goes in or doesn't. It's how you approach the game with your mental attitude.
Regardless of the specific players and coaches, what's dangerous about a team that only has 3 wins, 17 games into the season?
Well, the reality is we've been there before, and so you don't take for granted the opportunity that you have to come play another game. It's an opportunity to show growth, maturity, and how you approach the game, no matter the team's record. This is still the NBA. You have talented players that can score 30 on any given night, and teams can streak shots and defend the right way. And what we've talked about as a group is you are now the team that everyone's looking at with a better record, so they're going to play a different style of basketball.
You've been in the 3-4 win category. Now you mentioned that teams are coming after you. How does that change the way you handle things and talk about things?
Well, like what we were just saying, it doesn't change necessarily the messaging, because we have to be us. We have to always make sure we're doing the things that we're capable of doing, whether we're on the side of the win or the loss. We have to make sure we're meeting our standard, and that's defending at a high level, sharing the basketball, communicating with each other, holding each other accountable, and just making sure that we make it difficult for opponents as they step on the court.
Coach, Cole Anthony, Mo Wagner have been available for every game so far this season. They've obviously been consistent force off the bench. How is it like having that luxury of having 2 guys that are basically game changers when they come into the ball?
Well, that's who both of those guys are, and they've accepted that role and responsibility to the team, and it's great to see. And having them available is just a big key for our success.
And for Washington, they may not have necessarily the best record on paper, but Kyle Kuzma has been really good for them this season, averaging over 23 points a game. What has impressed you most about so far his game, kind of taking on that leadership role for them this season?
Well, you just said it. His leadership. You see not that he's just averaging 20 plus a game, but he's up there averaging assist numbers as well. So his ability to share the basketball, move it around, and get other guys involved, not just on the scoring side.
The first year for the tournament, as well as you guys are playing, is there disappointment from not advancing?
Yeah, there's definitely disappointment. I think our guys understand how bad we wanted it, but it's also a great lesson in that every game counts, every game matters, and you can take this lesson and move forward with it as we move later into the season. That you can't take any games for granted, but on the flip side of that, you just have to make sure you can control what you can control and then move on from it.
Is it fair the way it's decided with the scoring depth?
I think the league is doing the best job it can in order to make things fair for each team, and I think we didn't get in, and I think we have to look at it as that and then move on from that and focus on Washington tonight. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Jay, when you're in the middle of a 7-game winning streak looking for 8, what are the keys to keep grounded and keep this thing going?
I think continuing to find ways to get better and continuing to stay true to our standards, you know what I'm saying, whether 7-game win streak, losing streak, whatever it is, we stay true to our standards and what we do, what we believe in over here, usually to lead to good things, and keep us on track. So trying to continue to lean on those things, not get too high, not get too low.
When you, in the middle of a season, you guys haven't had much practice time, to have a practice day followed by a shoot-around, how much does it help you in that area, continue to work on yourselves and get better?
It's great. Just have that mental focus, come in and really lock in on details, you know what I'm saying? I think it's great. I think we took really good advantage of it. People's got their bodies right. Again, we sharpened some things up, fixed some things that needed to be corrected, and just feeling good coming into tonight. Feeling confident, we know what we got to do. This is a team that, can really get it going on offense. They have a lot of special players, with great offensive talent. So, a new challenge, something that I think we're all ready to embrace.
How has the vibe been, during this winning streak?
High vibrations. This is the most I've won in the NBA, but this feels great to me. I know the rest of the boys are loving it too. But yeah, just a lot of fun, continuing to do our work and it's showing off, each and every night we step on the court, which is a dope thing to see. I think we're all enjoying it.
Have you noticed that there's been a little bit more attention on the Magic lately because of what you guys have been doing?
Yeah, a little bit. It's cool to get recognized, but this city's had, it's had our back. Since I've got here, what I'm saying, they've had our back all season. Continued love and support. So regardless of all that national media, we got the best crew right here. And that's all we need.
What's the disappointment for not moving on to the tournament?
It's tough, honestly. From a competitive standpoint, that's something that I know we all wanted to play in, something that we all wanted to try and achieve, go make a run at that tournament. But I think Mose said it best this morning, control what you can control. We put our best foot forward and, we got to look at it from a point. If we don't have that loss in Brooklyn, where we continue to let them roll and put points on the board, maybe we're in, what I'm saying? So it's cool. We get to look at it from that perspective. We still got things to clean up, but, it's over now. All those games and wins still counted towards our regular season record, which I was sitting in a good spot. So, taking positives from it, learning from, what we could have done. And, hopefully next year I'm excited to go make a run at that.
Is it fair how it was decided?
I don't think life isn't fair. I don't think the in-season tournament, I think that matches that, what I'm saying, whether it's fair or not. Those teams advanced. We put a great effort. We fought our way back, from being 0-1 and a negative 22-point differential, to where we put ourselves in position to be in. We did all we could. So I think that's what we have to lean on.
The team is snuck into the top half of the league in pace in terms of possessions per 48 minutes. I know that's not necessarily how you guys describe pace, but is there a greater effort to try and get out and transition more and try and speed up your team's tempo a little bit more?
Just continue to use our strengths. We're young. We got fresh legs. We're able to get out and run. And I think that's a positive for us. We got a lot of great athletes, and we play well in that. When we're doing that, and finding shots, and putting the defense in tough scramble positions. I think it's hard to guard. Anybody when they're doing that. So definitely, something that we've talked about. Trying to get out and run, get the ball over before 21, and it's led to good things so far.
With how your guys' defense is set, is there a balance? Like you can't run too much because you want to make sure your defense gets set in the half court, or how do you find that balance between like a slowed down defense and a sped up offense?
No, I think that's the dope part about our team is we trust one another. Like I said, it's Chick-fil-A. We have no burgers. What I'm saying? There's nobody that they can drag out in the ISOs where we don't feel confident in that matchup. And if they do, end up getting past us, we have low man and we have our rotations and stuff built in. So I think that's the dope part. That's what makes it so special on that end. That we can guard 1 through 5 wherever, knowing that we got help behind.
Everybody good?
Jalen, I was just going to say, you made some big plays, obviously, so far in this homestand. You've gotten the crowd hyped up a lot of times. Just what goes through your mind when you make a big play, whether it's a steal, a deflection, and 1 or 3? When you do that and you see the crowd, out there just really rooting for you.
I think just being me and knowing that the city embraces my energy and my craziness, I enjoy that, what I'm saying? And, it makes me feel good, what I'm saying? Knowing that, they appreciate it, they rock with me on it, and, they stand up, get crazy right with me. So it's dope to see the Amway being lit now and, showing that energy, that passion, and that's all I want to bring, make each and every night we in the Amway enjoyable, put smiles on people's faces, get the crowd turning. That's what we've been doing. It's been a good time.
Joe, for a young group to have the opportunity to have a practice day, followed by a shoot-around, just how much of a luxury is that amidst the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously with our schedule, as you guys know, and the games are stacked up and travel and everything else involved, there's a balance obviously of finding days off and obviously practice days, and different coaches, different teams do different things. It was nice to kind of have a complete day off, and then to still get a good practice in, and then obviously still get a shoot around in, and I think obviously playing a team 2 times in a row as well, just for the next 3-4 days, that's our focus obviously is Washington. So to be able to kind of lock in on that for a couple of days, and now get ready for these 2 games.
Coach has talked a lot about this team having to learn how to handle success. 7-game win streak is obviously a small thing in the grand scheme of things, but how do you feel like this team has kind of handled the maybe added pressure, the added attention that's come over the last few weeks?
I don't know, has there been more attention? You guys probably know better than... Yeah, I mean, I think we've done a good job of just kind of, as like cliche as it is, taking it one game at a time, and I think we got a bit of a wake up in Charlotte, just the way they were going to play, and they're a younger team, and they play up and down. That's kind of just the flow of it, and Washington's the same. They play fast, and I think these are always the games that other people that aren't within the 4 walls here, like it's one of those kind of games where if you're not prepared, they can score the ball. They got a couple guys that are obviously elite at that, and for us it's about focusing on what we know we can do defensively, and then obviously getting out and running and doing that. So definitely more of a focus on us, but it's hard. I mean, I don't know when the last time the Magic won 7 games in a row, but it's been good. The guys have been good, stayed locked in. Obviously you guys see everyone's still here doing kind of the same thing as what they were doing in September. So it's been good. It's a lot more fun winning. I know that.
2010-11.
How has the bye?
2010.
What?
That happened. 2010.
Oh shit. That's a long time. I was a lot younger back then.
How has the bye been? Like, has it been a little different now that you're on this streak, or is it the same as it's been since day one?
You guys would have a more idea than me. I wasn't here last year, but I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, whenever you're winning, it's a better vibe. Losing sucks regardless of what you're doing. I hate losing against my kids. I hate like everything that you. We're competitors, and we're trying to win. You obviously 82 games, and even the excitement and stuff behind the in-season tournament, and trying to like win those games, and the points start. Like there's been a lot going on. It's been fun. We're pretty lucky in the sense of having a group that is enjoying it, that still works hard, and we've got a coach that gets it, not just the basketball but life as well, and having a good balance of being here and doing what we have to do, and then getting away and being with our family or friends or whatever it is. So no, it's always been, I'm sure with Mose, there was good vibes last year as well, but it's been fun this year, definitely.
No, just now that the in-season tournament run for the Magic is over, what are your overall thoughts on how it went, how it kind of pushed you guys, even though you weren't?
I think we had the best court by far. Everyone else's court sucked. We had the best court for sure. It was fun. It was, I think in a sense, the NBA kind of got what they wanted so far out of it. Of the games were great. They were competitive. I don't know what the numbers look like, but I'm sure people were watching last night because of results that have to happen. And so it was fun. Obviously, at the end of the day, you put 500,000 in front of a player, they're going to try and get it. So disappointing, but obviously a part of that is kind of controlling what we could control, and that's like the Brooklyn loss or winning Chicago by more, or like you said, it's over with now, and we just keep rolling on with the season and stay focused on winning games in the regular season.
Is how they ultimately settled it fair, the scoring differential?
Oh, that's way above my pay grade. I mean, I understand kind of both sides of what people are saying with it, with like the respect of the game, and you got like Billy Donovan and Joe Mazzulla arguing about it, like what's right, what's wrong. I don't know, it's a hard, like, I mean, yeah, I fully understand both sides. I think in the in-season tour, I don't think teams will do it tonight. Like if one team's up or the rest of the year, I think teams will play how we have for years and years now. But I understand why teams are trying to do it in the in-season tournament. It's at the end of the day, it's 500. Like, players are going to play for 500,000. So I get both sides of it, but for us now, it's kind of back to normal business of playing and doing what we do.
You talk a lot during games to teammates.
I do.
Yeah, you're not afraid to share your voice. Obviously, talking to perhaps opposing coaches. Have you always been like that? And how long have you been like that? And where does that maybe confidence come from?
Yeah, I mean, I still remember my first year when I was 17 in Australia. The older guys telling me to shut up a lot. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just partly my personality. My kids probably get sick of me talking to them. My wife definitely gets sick of me talking to her. Just who I am. You guys, them, teammate, whoever it is, I could pull up to a cafe and talk to someone in there if you wanted me to. So, and I think obviously the bigger reason here is helping these guys with things I see, and even with Coach, me and Coach will talk during the game, and he'll come to me, I'll go to him. It's cool to have that freedom too. A lot of teams, coaches don't accept that or don't want that. They're the leaders, or the main players don't want to hear that. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Joe, Paulo and Franz have gotten a lot of national recognition as of late. Paulo winning Player of the Week, Franz being a nominee.
I didn't even know they still did Player of the Week.
Yeah, they
That's
still
kind of
do.
cool.
What have you noticed from them, just sort of as being kind of the leaders and the up and comers of this team?
I mean, you realise on the day-to-day, like when you play against guys, it's so different to being around them day-to-day. And same when I went to Milwaukee, same with kind of Donovan in Utah, and you just see the work ethic and what these guys do on a daily basis. It's no surprise they are as effective as they are in the game. And obviously, one thing with our team is just the youth of it as well, and mixing all that together with their age is like obviously the future is extremely bright. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to watch them and play with them and try and help them a little bit. And yeah, they got a lot long careers ahead of them.
And the crowd that was, at Amway last week was incredible. I mean, there were "Let's Go Magic" chants.
Except for the Boston cheering. But.
Yeah. But where would you say that would maybe rank in sort of games you've played in your long career?
I'll be biased on that, but Utah always had especially in the playoffs and stuff, obviously, a bit of a smaller town and not a ton to do. There's no Disneyland there. We would always have really good crowds, especially in the playoffs. I mean, Milwaukee was great too, but these guys have been unreal too. Like, I've only ever played here, obviously, against you guys, and with Milwaukee and that, everyone cheered for us anyway, so that was kind of nice. But it was really cool. I think I can't remember what game, or maybe the Denver game where everyone's standing the last couple of minutes. Like, it's a pretty cool vibe, and obviously for us, it's about playing consistently enough that happens every game. That we want that crowd to be involved.